A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, the Twinflame Union. In this channeling session, the message is very loud and clear that healthy relationships do exist. I had been stalling this particular channeling for quite some time. I thought that it's just a message, probably, it's a normal message, but, I've been receiving it in different ways. So I realized that this particular message is for everyone, not just for me. So, and then the whole message is being relayed to you now. First and foremost, this is also a confirmation for all those people who are on the twin flame journey right now, who are very tired, who are very worked up, who don't know why they can't get true love. People on the twin flame journey, they look at other couples, they look at those who are happy or those who are seemingly happy, and they feel that why this love is not in my kitty? Why am I not getting anyone? Okay, fine. Before the divine masculine also came in their life, they were in different relationships, and each time they were getting into a relationship, they wanted the relationship to be a happy one. No one wants to get into a relationship, thinking that it will hurt or it will be over one day. Now, the simple reason why there has been such a big disconnect between the feminine and the masculine, and let me tell you, yes, a lot of people I know, and there are other people who probably I don't know directly, but they are going through separation, and they are runners and they are girls. And they have a lot of people who decide things for them, like they decided for the divine masculine that the feminine is a toxic influence for the DM, and the DF is not the right person, and you should not talk to them, you should not to the DF, you should not respond, you should not connect. And a lot of DMs are like, yeah, I don't connect with the DF, I don't talk, and they kind of agree. But let me tell you, in their hearts, they know who is more toxic around them. And always remember one thing, that if you are surrounded by people who are constantly bringing you down, telling you what to do, what not to do, there's one thing about giving a good advice, and there's one thing about, just giving confusing statements or making you negative and making you feel like bad about yourself or bad about the person you love especially. Now, in the past also, both the DF and DM have gone through toxic relationships, unhealthy relationships, unhappy relationships. They have dragged the relationships because there were other things, that would make them happy about the relationship, and those things were also their own. For example, you are married to someone, not you specifically, but someone is married to someone, and they are in a very unhappy relationship, non-supportive, there is a lot of codependency. You're not happy with the person, the specific person, but you're happy because maybe you share pets with them, or you share a business with them that makes you happy, or you share some kind of other legal thing, that is a part of what you do every day and what you love, or you have children together, so those children make you very happy. Now, the toxic partner also is definitely deriving happiness from the children, because the children are the extension of his or her identity, of the ego. But if the children are not in their control, they will create toxicity, they'll blame the other person, they'll be like, my children don't listen to me, or they are not like me, and things like that. That is a separate thing. But if you're into that relationship, you're definitely into it because some other elements are making you happy, though you think that those elements are connected with the specific person. Now, what is happening here is that a lot of DMs especially have lack of understanding when it comes to what is a healthy relationship, what is a loving relationship, what is a relationship that is going to make them transport or transform, actually not transport, transform into the higher version. And they are still struggling because the family influence is still there. So the family is like, no, this person is not good for you. You know, you've actually changed ever since this person came in your life. Ever since you were talking to that person, you're talking to dating, and they're obviously referring to the DF. Ever since you were dating this person, ever since you were going out with this person, or even ever since you were friends with this person, you change. Now they changed because they were resonating a lot with that person, with the DF, and they wanted the life that the DF is living. They wanted to be with the DF because they felt that they both have the similar vibrations or similar frequency. But because there is so many wounds and they are not healed, and they have trauma bonds, they have formed trauma bonds with those people, the decision makers of their lives, or they have to be with them maximum times. It could be because of work, it could be because of business, but actually in a way it's good also, because when they will spend time with them very closely, like they have nothing else to do now, and they are completely at the disposal of the decision makers, the so-called decision makers in their life. That is the time that they will realize fully, and they have to spend good time with them. And they have to they could date other people as well, because they want to see, or they have to learn from practical experience, not just concept, reading books, listening to something. No. Divine masculines are supposed to learn via practical experience, because they lack the practical experience, while the feminines lack the theory. That's the reason why all DFs are supposed to do theory now. So when we say you have to do inner work, of course you go within yourself and you heal yourself, but you also understand the terminologies, the names of what situations you are in, the scientific construct of it, and basically you are doing sort of a graduation in it, or a master's in it, or maybe a PhD in it. But they are in the field. Now both of you are actually giving the exam together, but one of you is going to give the practical examination and the other is going to give the theory part. And it was pre-decided. And let me tell you, in previous relationships, you know, life before twin flame thing happened to you, or it hit you right in the face, you were always a twin flame. It's not like you became a twin flame when you met the DM or the DF. No, you were a twin flame right when you were born. So everything that you went through contributed to your journey in the world of twin flame, in the twin flame universe. So before meeting the divine masculine, it was the feminine who had to do the practical. So she did the practical by staying in long relationships, staying in toxic situations, living with false twins, or hanging out with a lot of karmics, or, you know, karmics that became long term, or even in the family they were neglected, and everything that you know already. Not if you don't know already, then you'll know gradually, but a lot of it basically. And the divine masculines were doing the theory part at that time. You know, they were probably looking at other people, they were just listening about relationships, they were just finding out about relationships, or they had other family members, or they were observing their parents. So they made like a sum total of how a relationship should be. But they had to test the waters. They had to smell the coffee beans. So then the role reversal happened, because you also need to be prepared for it. Now, some of you might even ask this question, and this is also a separate channeling, so I'm not going to go very deep into it, but time is a factor. That would be the title of that channeling. I've already prepared it, prepared the content for relaying to you all. So a lot of you have this question, why it takes so long? Like, why? Because you don't have patience. And to build up patience in you, universe will apply certain things. And at the same time, you don't have faith. Like, you had faith, but it was wrong faith. It was blind faith. It was incomplete faith. It was superstition. It was not coming from God energy. It was coming from some other, dark energy, from negativity, from gossip, from bitching about other people. And I really don't know why they use the word bitch or a dog as abuse, because they are the most loyal creatures on this planet. And maybe this type of a negative image building for the most loyal being on planet. Like there is no other animal who can be as loyal as a dog or a bitch, but they use it for abuses, or they use it in a very negative way. Anyway, so I don't want to use it. I would say rather gossip, or people who don't have anything else to do but they discuss other people's lives all the time. They talk about others and they try to feel good by putting other people down, by saying that they are not good enough, or they are bad, or they are toxic, or they are this, or they are that. And the DMs hang out with them, because DMs also are scared of being left out. Although they don't have this whole thing of neglect, and they don't learn it like this. They will learn it, when they will be neglected too by the decision makers of their life. And they could be anyone. It could be the parents, it could be siblings, it could be the person they are dating, or it could be their, some kind of teacher they have, some kind of coach who's a false teacher, who's a false coach, or a false guru. They'll also learn this one lesson about the right master, the right teacher, because they never had a right master or the right teacher. Otherwise, they would not be so lost. And this is the reason why the divine feminine has to be the Hierophant. She has to be his teacher. In many cases, she is the monad, and she is the one who makes them realize that, real love, what is real faith, what is real belief, what is real understanding, what is a real relationship. And yes, healthy relationships do exist. And he was not able to see a healthy relationship between them because he was not in a healthy state of mind. And he will realize this when he spends a lot of time with these people, and he'll also see their worlds crashing down. Because once the super empath starts becoming powerful, or they, basically reclaim all the lost parts of their soul, and all the stolen parts, or all the parts they gave away unknowingly, when they got manipulated, due to blind faith or dark people around them. So the more and more they collect the parts of their soul, the more and more the decision makers are going to fall flat on their faces, and their theory, or their, whatever education they have been giving to the DM would look at them and be like, oh my God, you guys don't even know what you're talking about, or you're preaching me about something like maybe relationship or money or this or that, but you yourself, you can't deal with anything. And most importantly, they also preach about happiness a lot. Happiness or contentment or being successful. So when the DMs actually see that they are not successful, they're unsuccessful, while my DF is pretty much quite successful, because my DF is very happy, content, and they are living a mission-oriented life. But this will only happen when the DF stops chasing, when they feel humiliated. Even, some people go through this on a public platform, like they are being made fun on public platform, or they see that the DM has posted something very derogatory, very humiliating. Maybe it is to do about their age, or maybe it is to do about some kind of passion they have, maybe some kind of, like it is very specific to them. When they read it, when they see it, they know it is them that they have mocked, it is them who they have talked about, it is them who they have humiliated in front of so many people. And if they are writing about them and talking about them and laughing about them in a group of people, then they must not be doing it just online, but they are obviously doing it offline too. So it really hurts them, this kind of mockery, this kind of abuse, this kind of, they make them a laughing stock. So there are certain things that happen that the chasers actually stop chasing them. So it is very painful, and it is definitely very sad that, they go through this. But once and only when the chasers stop chasing and they come back into their own power, and they'll probably date other people too, and why not? Like some people tell me, oh, I would never do that, I would only love my divine masculine. Well, if you have crossed the surrender stage, and if you are in a harmonious, harmonization stage, or you're in the glow or radiance stage, then yes, I understand that you would not want to date anyone. That's because you don't want to date anyone. And that includes your DM as well. You're not in the mood for all of this that the other people are doing or the world is doing. You're not, very interested with the commitment patterns or the, way people live their lifestyles. If the DM changes, if they work upon themselves, you'd like to really see it in their actions and their behavior, and you would by then be very good with that. You'd be very smart in sensing that if they really mean it or not. But you would not really bother about them, and that's the time they would want to be with you. And if in case, like I said, if you're still in surrendering stage, or if you're in even radiance, you might date some other people because you're, radiating so much, you're glowing so much, you're so beautiful and so attractive, all kinds of people. And I mean, this time it would be good people, because the divine feminines also need to learn it's not about good people or bad people getting attracted to her. It's about the right person getting attracted to her, who is worthy enough for her and who can be a part of her mission. And if they cannot be a part of their mission on earth, at least they should be respected for it, and they should not be stopped for it, and there should not be any interference. There should not be any negativity in this. Now, I want to, bring up something very interesting that came to my mind here right now while I'm doing this channeling. And also, when I've received these messages, I'd been watching a show called Serpent on Netflix. It's about a serial psychopath killer. And they don't say he's psychopath. They just call him notorious throughout the season. Because he is very balanced. He speaks in a way that a very wise or a learned man would speak, and that's the reason, or that's the way how he hypnotizes others. So it's a man called Charles Shobraj, whose life they've shown in Serpent series. He's basically a man who's from the demon side. He's a demon, or there is some kind of a demon who lives in him, or he's a devil, he's pure devil. But he probably is very happy being a devil, or he is okay with that role of being a devil. Throughout the show, he suffers a lot. He's jailed many times. But he has this pride on his face. He has this extreme amount of pride. But I don't want to talk about him. You guys can watch the show and see what all he did. But there is something which I would like to share with my community and my platform here. There is a separate message. I'll definitely share it. But the other messages, the good messages, which is connected to Twinflame somehow, is that in the show you will see there are two main characters who are actually pretty much very, very important in getting this guy arrested or stopping him from what he's doing, which is murdering innocent people. He puts like crazy fears in the mind of people, and all devilish people like to do that. And that's why I tell you to get out of the loop of this false twin also, because they also operate on false fears and false beliefs, and that's how they make the DF or the DM trapped by showing them, oh, you'll be all alone, or nobody will love you the way I love you, or this is not for you, or that is not for you, blah, blah, blah. So there are two key characters, and they are both married, and both of them are very much interested in getting this guy arrested, or, keeping other people safe from this devil. One character is Angela, the character's name is Angela. Angela Nippenberg, actually, that's the full name. And the other character, the protagonist also, is Herman Nippenberg. These are real characters. And they are basically husband and wife. And they both support each other a lot, even though they face a lot of difficulties, and they even get married to someone else because they have to live with someone. And in those days, this is not from the current times. Back in those days, people used to get divorced and get remarried. It was not a taboo to get remarried after getting a divorce, and now it's not a taboo to be single and happy. So anyway, both of them were going through difficulties in their marriage because obviously he was very busy catching hold of this criminal. And even after they get divorced, she continues to support him, and she is actually the one who keeps telling him about anything that he needs to know about the case. She'll send him any footage that is required. She'll send him any newspaper article that's very important. It's not that, okay, we got separated because of this person, because of this character, because of this evil character. And also know one thing, that as a twin flame, even you are here on this planet to, show people light and to face the dark people and to show them that, you know what, you're just so dark. You don't have any energy, you don't have any power. And you can actually do it by using your mind power much more faster and more efficiently if you use your mental power rather than trying physically. So Nippenberg is the person who is wholly responsible according to me. I mean, there were other people who obviously joined in later because then the crimes were so big. But he was after this man when he found out about the first two people he had, murdered. Then there's another couple here, which was Nadine and Remy. And Nadine also, and they're real characters again. The husband and wife were the ones who were actually working with this criminal, with Charles Shobraj, the serpent. And they had no idea that, they were actually helping them get their victims. And they got killed as well. So Nadine is very much like, I will not let this guy roam freely. I will do whatever it takes. And she even puts herself out there, and she could have gotten killed as well. The good part is the husband is very supportive, and this is their mission. And you would be really shocked to know that Charles Shobraj is still in jail, okay? He's old. He could not be, he was so smart that he would not even leave evidence behind. And yet these people collected a huge lot of evidence, a huge lot of records were created or collected. And they somehow got him into the jail. And even his last arrest happened because of Nippenberg. But Nippenberg was actually helped by his wife just in the right time. Just in the right time. So these two pairs that I noticed, and I've had to share this with you all, that though they got separated, the husband and wife, Nadine and Remy also get separated. They don't remarry. So one couple remarries and they're very independent emotionally, XYZ, whatever, etc., etc., emotionally, mentally, physically, blah, blah, blah. But in the mission, they're always together. Same happens with the other couple. They get separated and both of them, do what they love. One person likes to, run some, she was already into it, even before, this whole thing happened to their lives. So she starts running a beach shack or something, and the other person is growing something. He likes to grow food. So both of them go off their own ways, though they are separated, but they always supported each other. Even in the story, that is how they are shown, because that is their mission. And you don't know what your mission would be. It just happens to you. One fine day, you just know that this is my mission. And all those people who are in mission-oriented life, you guys are actually living your twin flame journey really well. And congratulations to you if you have found your mission. And of course, you know what I'm talking about then. It will always be a part of your life till you're here. And you'll always do good in it. You'll always show the dark energies that they don't have power over you, because you have the power of source. And all dark energies, they live on fear. So if you are fearless, if you don't have any fears, the dark energies will practically be useless in front of you. They'll not even exist. They'll cease to exist. Now, since this story is from a darker time, we were still, some of us were not even born at that time. And maybe, in this current time, as the dimensions are changing, as people are moving from 3D to 5D, you have a stronger faith and stronger belief that these people cannot do much. But that belief and that faith has to go on. And you also will start loving your DM fearlessly. And you will not have those notions, or you will not have those labels for the relationship. You will not even have those expectations. And that's why I say that it's not necessary that you have to really get married and be like a couple, a lovey-dovey couple with your twin. That is not necessary. You just have to know that it's your twin, and they met you, they came in your life, so that you could turn into a higher version of yourself. And yes, healthy relationships do exist. And most importantly, healthy relationship between you and your twin can happen. It is possible. It is probable. It is possible. It is very much practical. But for that, you need to believe in that. And then you need to sort of align yourself with that thought and that belief that, yes, they will listen to me. They will talk to me. They will forgive me. They will understand me. They know what I mean for them. They love me and they respect me. You need to believe in those things more than just, like making affirmations and saying it or writing it down 1,000 times or, doing all the activities that people in the law of attraction world have probably told you. There are tons of videos out there. Most important thing is to believe and it's to know. Once you know, then you'll see it practically happening in front of you. But as I keep telling people that your 3D union is not why you're here. Your 3D union is not the result of all of this. Your mission and the success of your mission and your confidence, your happiness, your contentment, and most importantly, you living as an independent person without any attachments, without any regrets, without any fears. That's what you're here to do. That's the relationship you're here to live. So on that note, I'm going to close this particular channeling. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.